pranam to everybody, all, all the dear friends and masters who are there present with us. And as Sir said, we have our divine gurus with us. Their energies connecting with us on this time when we are reading any time autobiography of Yogi. Masters, welcome to this session today. We'll be studying chapter 15, the cauliflower robbers, which is from the autobiography of Yogi. So, Master, will proceed, but sir, can you make me the co-host, please?
Yes,
Or you can
sure,
just-
madam. Sure.
So, before we start, I request all of you to take your asana and sit silently for a while. It's just 2 minutes so that we connect to the book's energy and to also to the masters who are there guiding us, guarding us all the time, and who have led us to this time when we can take this wisdom in our life. Cross your legs, masters. You can, if you're sitting on the floor, take a asana, and you can cross your legs like this. If your legs are hanging down, then ankle over ankle, cross your legs. So the energy is there, whichever the cosmic energy we are taking is there within our body. The other lock is hand. Clasp your hands, finger into finger, with palm upside. Gently place them on your lap. So the legs and the hands, our karmendriya, are completely in rest. And we do not need to bring our attention to them. Gently close your eyes and let us connect to the energies of our Gurus, Parampita, Paramatma, Jagannatha, who are always there as the parents who are guiding us all the time, guarding over us. Connecting to the Guru, the Divine, Param Guru Mandli, all the Gurus who are there with us at this point of time, and then connecting to the energy of autobiography of Yogi. May we be able to take this wisdom in our life. Pray to you, God, our dear Father. Bless us. Thank you. Thank you for leading us to this time, choosing us to take this wisdom. With deepest gratitude, we thank you. And thank all our friends and masters who are there with us. Watch yourself from head to toe and toe to head. Scan yourself once. If you have anywhere tightened your body, any part of your body, just gently shake that part and make it light. Let us come to the present moment completely, leaving everything outside, whatever we have been doing or we need to do. Let us forget all that and just this precious time that we have chosen for ourselves. Let us come and bring our attention only to our present moment. Deep, inhale deep through your nose. As you inhale, feel the prana going from your from your nose, from your nostril, down to your spine. Lighten your body, shake your shoulders, all the muscles in the stomach, release them. Inhale deeply and exhale very, very gently. from your mouth. Relax, relax, relax. Inhale once again. Hold it. Hold it for 5 counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale gently from your mouth. Once more. Inhale deeply from your nose. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Relax, relax, relax. Exhale through your mouth. Thank you, everybody. Let us start the wisdom shift. You can open your eyes or you can be in meditation state. Thank you. So, Masters, we will start with the meditation and then we will meditate for some time. So, today's chapter is the cauliflower robbery, which is from Autobiography of Yogi, as I said. This is the 15th chapter. Very nice chapter, though, when I was also reading it for the first time years back, I felt that what it would be about. But this is something which is really a lot of wisdom in this chapter. So the story is that, Yogananji is sharing this with us because it has deep meaning. So once what happens, he has planted cauliflowers in the backyard and he was watching over it, taking tender care, nursing them like a mother, how the mother nurses the child, and that is how he was taking care of these cauliflowers in his garden. So joyfully he brings these cauliflowers to his guru, Swami Shri Yukteswarji. And we have already shared this, how their relationship of a mentor-disciple was, Swami Shri Yukteswarji and Yogananji. So when he brings these cauliflowers to very joyfully with a smile on his face and he brings them to Swami Shri Yukteswarji, and Swami Shri Yukteswarji appreciates it. And he says, he appreciates with a smile on his face, with a very warm smile, and he takes and he says to Mukund, that time his name was Mukund, he was not initiated that time completely to the yogi. So he tells the young Yogananji to keep them in his room. So he had Yogananji had his room, and he says, "You keep them in your room, and I shall tomorrow is a special dinner is going to be there. That time I will need them, and I will take from you. I'll ask them to bring them that time." So this was in Puri, Jagannath Puri. Everybody, you must have heard. It is in India. All those who are not from India as of now or have been abroad for quite some time, never have been to Odisha. So here in Puri, there is a seaside hermitage. It is beside Bay of Bengal, seaside. And there a beautiful hermitage of Swami Shri Yukteswarji is there. That is where all this was happening. So morning when he awakes, so he keeps Yogananji keeps the cauliflower in his room under the bed, and early morning he wakes up refreshed, very salty sea breeze which is coming from the Bay of Bengal, with a very charming surrounding, beautiful surrounding. So morning he woke up and Swami Shri Yukteswarji calls him and says that when he calls him, he runs fast to bring the cauliflower as if, Swami Shri Yukteswarji is asking, his guru is asking for the cauliflower, which was under his bed. So Master says, Swami Shri Yukteswarji says, no, let us go to the beach. I am calling you to go to the beach. Let us go there and we will use these cauliflowers little later. All of them, all the other disciples along with Yogananji follows Swami Shri Yukteswarji towards the beach, and there, they are talking about several things as we had listened earlier. During the walk, Swami Shri Yukteswarji used to say a lot of wisdom with his disciples. That was the prime time where he would share while walking, he will share a lot of wisdom. So, and sing sometimes. So they were all singing also together. And all of a sudden Guruji stops. He halts down. Okay. And he starts seeing Yogananji. He sees and says, all of a sudden, while walking, and he used to walk very, very fast. All of a sudden, there is a halt. And he tells Yogananji, did you remember to lock the back of the door of the hermitage? Now, all of a sudden, when there is a halt, everybody thinks what has happened, and Yogananji is also thinking, what all of a sudden he's asking me, have you closed the door from the back of the hermitage? So he says that, Yogananji realizes that he has not done that. So he says, I think so, but he says, Yogananji says, I think so, sir. Swami Shri Yukteswarji was silent for a few minutes and then he had a smile, a suppressed smile on his lips. He said, no, you forgot it. He says, no, you forgot it. And he said that divine contemplation must not be made an excuse for material carelessness. He says that don't contemplate. No, don't. You have made a material carelessness, but divine will not contemplate it. And you must be punished if you have neglected your duty, which I had given you, to take care of the hermitage and make sure that it is protected. So Yogananji thinks he is joking, है ना? And but Swami Shivteshwarji says your 6 cauliflower will become 5, only 5. He had kept 6 under his bed, but Swami Shivteshwarji tells him, predicts that your 6 cauliflowers will soon become 5. So and Yogananji, he was thinking that he's telling like that only, na? That time he didn't know, I mean, he was still knowing his master. That was the time he was he had come just few months back to the hermitage and he had met his guru. And all this, he was seeing his guru and learning about him. So he thinks how 6 will become 5. He never had an idea. So while all this was happening, they went back. And he says, Swami Shri Yukteswarji tells him, Mukunda, look across the compound on your left. Observe the road. There was a compound wall, and after the compound wall, immediately there is a road in the Sri Rampur Hermitage. He says, look across the compound on your left. Very, very, he can predict. Swami Shri Yukteswarji could predict what is going to happen, and he says certain man will arrive there presently. He says and he will be of means of castism to you. What he means is that, okay, he will be the one who will be, who will, because of him, you will be punished today. And that is what he says. And after that, he says, he thinks, what is Guruji saying? He did not understand that time, Yogananji. And all of a sudden, there was a poor farmer, a peasant who soon appeared on the road, same road which Yukteswarji had told him, Swami Shri Yukteswarji had told him to observe. Suddenly, a peasant comes from there and he was dancing. He was like as if, he was not in complete senses, but he was flinging his arms and making meaningless gestures. And so, almost, when he saw such a man, Yogananji was curious about it. And he was as if, completely stiffed upon. He says, I was gluing my eyes on this, and as a man reached a point in the road where he would vanish from our view, just compound, there was a door in the compound wall, and he could just see a peasant coming in, and he would disappear. He will go in front. But Swami Shri Yukteswarji says, wait, now he will return. That is what Yukteswarji says. And all of a sudden, that farmer, the poor farmer, returns and change the direction and comes inside the ashram behind the door which was left open and enters the room where these cauliflowers were kept. So when he goes there, and this was so sudden, he goes into the room and takes the cauliflower and goes out. So master, when he saw this, Swami Yukteswarji, he started laughing from head to toe. He was shaking and laughing at it. And he says that poor man, the poor farmer, was longing for this cauliflower for a long time. And And so, Yogananji could not understand what is all this, why he is laughing, what all is happening, why this man came, he was going, and how he came back. So Yukteswarji says that after some time, some time, you will understand this science. You will understand it someday. Science will soon discover a few of these hidden laws. He tells Yogananji. So Yogananji, and even when we are hearing, some of you who are hearing this for the first time must be thinking, what is the science in somebody coming and taking a cauliflower and going away? What is the science? But later on, what happens is Yogananji, after certain years, when he became deeper into spiritualism and he started understanding various things that Swami Yukteswarji taught him in various ways. So he understands that the plot of cauliflower, this plot was there, which Swami Yukteswarji had built it up a plot to make Yogananji and his disciple understand a great law. So what he tells is that after sometimes Yogananji understand the law of frequency, the frequency, So how a wavelength, sometimes we say, na, a wavelength does not match with somebody. That is that we do not reconcile with somebody, or sometimes we reconcile, our minds are aligned with each other, and we say we have a very great chemistry with each other. We have a very wavelength matches so nicely. So that is what he explained to his disciples, including Yogananji, especially Yogananji, during that time, that how the law works, how the frequency works. So he says it is our mind, a human mind, free, if it is free from static of restlessness, if our mind is not restless, it is calm, and then it can perform through its antenna of intuition. God has given the antenna of intuition. We have within us inbuilt antenna, which is intuition within us, and it works to catch the frequency, the highest frequency which we want to. So he says it works, and all the functions of complicated radio mechanism, sending and receiving thoughts and tuning out undesirable ones, are all in this antenna of intuition. So he says our mind works with this. If it is completely calm, you can catch any frequency, as the power of radio depends on the amount of electric current it can utilize. So in our body also electrons are there, and it has electric current all over, like etheric body are. So he says, so the human radio is energized according to the power of will. So energy, the electric current within us is the power of will. And with the power of will, we can we can use the antenna of our intuition. So with power of will, we have antenna, which is intuition, works together with our mind when it is completely silent, when it is it is completely, and there is no restless in it, and that time we can have this power within us where we can all our thoughts vibrate eternally in cosmos. He says that is the time where we can work and catch the frequency of anybody, whomever we want to connect with. Sometimes it happens, no, that someone of you, or you must have had that experience, that you are trying to send a message to somebody. You want to say something, and someone immediately calls you up and says that I felt like telling you this, or he gives the same message that you wanted to hear something. So we get tuned to it. How we get tuned to it? When we are completely in that mode, when nothing else we are thinking, only that one particular thought is there, and we are completely calm. That time, our power of will, that we want to reach out to somebody, we want to talk to that particular person, our intuition works, that it travels to that person's mind, and that person gets that intuition and calls you up. So same thing, this is entire law which worked with this cauliflower person, and how Swami Yukteswarji was able to catch that frequency of that person's mind and make him do what he wanted to. What he wanted him to do, that person did. The poor farmer did it, the peasant. So he says all thoughts vibrate eternally in cosmos. Our thoughts are traveling, they are vibrating. So our thoughts are there. What kind of thoughts we have? It all depends, right? Negative, positive. mm, uh, or do we really have faith in them, or we are having doubt? All kind of thoughts vibrate eternally in cosmos. They are always there. By deep concentration, a master is able to detect the thought of any mind, living or dead. He says any constant, when we are concentrating deep, closing our eyes, sitting, and after certain practice, even with the open eyes, if somebody has mastered it, they can detect the thoughts of any mind, be it a living being or a dead. That person will know what were the thoughts, the last thought of that the dead person, or what is the thought going on in the person who is just in front of you or anywhere in this world. That person, if you master that, then it will happen. But for that, the mind has to be empty. The willpower has to be increased. Daily practice of meditation deepens the willpower as well as your intuition. So intuition is the key. Intuition is powered by the electricity, the power within us, which is the power of will. And that is where the mind becomes sharp. It works like the battery. So it says that thoughts are universally not, and not individually rooted. Thoughts are universally, it is everywhere, and it is not individually rooted. A truth cannot be created but only perceived. Says what Swami Yukteswarji taught through this cauliflower example to all the disciples was very, very deep meaning, which they all understood in their life, and especially Yogananji, who was truly adhering to everything whatever his master was teaching him. He says that I understood that truth cannot be created but perceived. Truth is always there, and Satya is always there. Only we perceive it. We, unless we know, we are not, we are unaware of it, or we do not believe into it. But once we believe, we are perceiving it, then we understand what is right and what is wrong, what is truth and what is false. So that is what he says. The enormous thought of man result into imperfection in his discernment. The goal of, and that is what Yukteswarji taught them, that the goal of yoga science is to calm the mind. Yoga where we say is that yoga is the word what Mahavatar Babaji has also used, and he said that when Lahari Mahashaji he told him to go to back to Banaras and told everybody to teach Kriya Yoga. Na? So he says the goal of yoga science, that is Kriya science, is to calm the mind. Without the yoga is that the yoga of inhalation and exhalation. When a breath meets during exhalation, inhalation and exhalation, that is the yoga which happens, right? Where is a homa which happens, and without distortion it may mirror the divine vision in the universe. When it becomes one, when there is no exhalation, though no inhalation, no exhalation is needed within us, that is the yoga. And that time our mind becomes calm. There is nothing that can distract us from outside. We are just completely within ourselves, and we believe, and then that is time when the truth is revealed. So divine visions in the universe are mirrored. We are able to see what is there in the universe, which is hidden otherwise. But when our mind becomes calm, we are able to see what is there in the universe, which otherwise we are not able to see. And then he says radio and television have brought the instantaneous sound and sight of remote persons of the fireside of millions. The first faint scientific limitations that meant, he says, nobody can confine to a point in space. What he's telling is that we are not confined in this body, and it is not one point in the space, but we are soul. We are vast soul. And only because of the ego which we have, we feel that we have this body, and when we get this body, the ego comes with the body. Therefore, when we are able to come out of this mind of body, having ourselves just in this confined space of our body, then slowly when we get into meditation, we are able to calm our mind, and slowly when we are with our breath, completely with our breath, as we meditate deeper and deeper, we dissolve the thought, we dissolve the ego. And when we dissolve the ego of having a body, our body becomes dissolved, and we are able to see as ourselves as a vast soul in the space all around us, in the Brahmand, in the universe, and we become one with the cosmic. So this is the strange feeling once when we practice it, and those who have been practicing, they understand what is being explained in this. That how with our intuition, we are able to catch any frequency. And if we start practicing, or anybody who has this experience can share it later, that how, if you have ever experienced that, how you have caught up with the frequency, any frequency that you wanted to catch, and how with the intuition you were able to uh, generate that thought in somebody else's mind, the way Swami Shiv did it. And then he says later, he is talking about that there is, he is talking about, he has in this chapter, he says that today, the science of today is a light matter, the revolutions and evolutions today we are talking about, which is, it will experience in thousands of years. It will happen. There have been truth all over there have been so many hidden truths still. But as people are, there are revolutions which are happening, evolutions are happening, new things are evolving as the scientists are researching, and it will continue. We are experiencing, and new things people are able to research, find out, evolve, and this will continue. Even something that we have seen, something we want to see it further, so may not be us, but our descendants will see it, they will discover, and are even now all around us. But only thing is that we are not able to see, our eyes are not able to see, and we are not able to speak about it. But, and as of now we are unfamiliar, but as our descendants will come, generations will come, no, they will be able to see some new things which will completely, they will, new revolutions will have, new evolutions will have happen, new experiments will be taken place, and that is how something which is hidden will keep coming. And we are seeing, right, from our past to now, what we earlier what was there, then it became the dark age came, everything vanished, and slowly again we evolved. A new age is coming, and again we are unenveloping, things which were hidden. So as we will go further, our descendants will see more and more truth. That is what he says. Then master perceived in my expectation, he says that mm, uh, what happens is that when this happened, no, cauliflower incidents happened. After that, another thing which happened was he lost his lamp, and he was thinking, Yogananji lost his lamp, and he thought that Swami Yukteswarji is going to help him. But Guruji did not. So he also, I'm not going deep into that story. So what happens is Swami Yukteswarji directs him to go and search for him. He says, I'm not a Sherlock Holmes. I am not a detective to tell you every time. And Yogananji understands that Swami Shri Yukteswarji was never a man who would showcase his powers when challenged, or when there will be something for a menial things, he will not showcase his powers. It was just to teach a lesson. That is why Swami Shri Yukteswarji had created that particular scene which could teach his disciples this lesson of law of how our willpower works with intuition along with our mind, to be able to connect to any frequency we want to. Any frequency which is there in the Brahman, in the cosmos, we can connect to that. And later he tells about in this lesson about, uh, many about the festival which was going to happen during the in a few 4 times festival used to happen in this hermitage, in the various hermitages of Swami Yukteswarji in Calcutta or in Odisha. And this was mainly in Sankranti, as the Indians would know, or during the monsoon. And there was satsang happening. Till all the disciples used to be divided into various parts. Was given various duties. Some in kitchen, some in satsanga, some in playing music. So that is how disciple used to learn all kind of things, turn by turn. And this was the description about how things were happening during this festival time, in one of the festival times when in the Sri Rampur Hermitage it was happening. Then later in his, I'll just take 5 minutes more. Later in this chapter, he has described about the ragas, the music, and the team which was playing the music, who were singing. Swami Shri Yukteswarji was very particular about everything, that the raga should be correct, the notes played by any musician should be correct, any disciple. So when he observed the team who was singing satsanga and who was playing drums, he tells them about the ragas. He tells them about how the describe very beautifully. If you can read this chapter later, he tells about the ragas, that 126 Ragnis derivatives are there, and how he says that 26 derivatives Ragnis are the wives, and they have sons. Each raga has minimum 5 notes, and the 5 notes are king. No, the leading note is king. The secondary note is called the prime minister or samavadi, and then he tells the attendants anuvadi and vivadi the enemy. So 126 derivatives, how they have all the other supporting team. So this is how the ragas are built up in as per what he describes. And then he is going deeper into it and describing everything, that how 6 basic ragas are there. Each raga, whether Hindol raga is there, Dipika raga is there, Megha raga, when these ragas are Bhairava raga or Sri raga or Malukosna raga, which time of the month, when during which season they are played, which season they are supposed to be sung, and what time of the day it should be done. And then he says, he's telling about one of the the Mia Tansen, who was in the court of the 16th century court of Akbar the Great. So Akbar tells Tansen to sing the raga, which should be only played in the or sung in the night time, but he commands him to sing in the daytime. And when Tansen starts singing that, then during the day it becomes complete dark. So that is the power of the raga, he tells. And then he is telling about how Western Sangeeta, the Hasra Sangeet, he compares that the octaves, the eighth note which is there, and in so each of these notes, say do, re, mi, sa, how they are connected to the bird or the beast and to their color. So he says do is green, and the peacock, it is related to, re is red and is connected to shalak. Like that, he has explained each of them. Me is golden and is connected to goat, and fa with yellow, white, and heron, the bird. So soul is black and with nightingale. So he has such a deep knowledge of everything, that shows, demonstrates through this chapter that Swami Yukteswarji was not only a yogi, but he had knowledge of science, he had knowledge of music, and many other things that we came to know. Then later, he is talking about. So this goes on, this he has given this detail of the music. If you can read it, or any other time, I will share with that. And later, about because this all he's explaining to his disciples who were playing the music, who were singing. He explains all these deeper knowledge of music to all his disciples. And then there are almost hundreds of visitors that day during this festival, who visits the hermitage. So they were served with khichdi, and khichdi is rice and lentils cooked together with vegetables and rice. So they all were served with this. And afterwards, Guruji, the best moment comes in Yogananji's life, and Guruji calls him. And that day he has worked so very hard. So Guruji, Swami Yukteswarji tell Yoganand ji that you can today you can sleep in my bed tonight. I want you to be with me, and you may sleep in my bed tonight. And this was a privilege for Yogananji. He's sleeping to sleep with his guru. He had never even thought that he will get this moment where he will be able to feel the guru through and through. And he was very, very happy. And that it was so before they slept, they intense meditation they did for 10 minutes, and hardly 10 minutes they got into bed and slept. But in the night, midnight, around 1 o'clock, Swami Yukteswarji wakes up, and Yogananji saying, "What happened?" So he says, "No. The disciples who had gone back, who had come from another city, had not got their train, and they will be coming back. They did not get proper connections with them, so they all will be coming back, and I need to prepare the food." So they were very tired, but Swami Yukteswarji, he was so connected with each of his disciples, and as we understood, he had such a high frequency, that he was able to connect with anybody, and before he could get the message, he was able to understand what is happening in his environment or whatever he wants to know. So Yogananji said, "No, nobody will come back at this hour." He said, "No, you stay in the bed, but I am going to cook. You have worked very hard." So Swami Yukteswarji goes down, and Yogananji also jumps out, and he goes along with him to the kitchen. They start cooking some rice and dal. And after some time, Guruji smiles and he says that today you have conquered fatigue and fear of hard work, and you shall never be bothered by them in future. And that was the blessing he got that time. That being so tired, Yogananji, but he conquers that fatigue and fear, and he accompanies his guru and goes to the kitchen. After some time, he sees that many of these disciples who had gone to catch the train came back, and they felt that, oh, they will be disturbing the master. But Yogananji says, "No, already Guruji is waiting for you, and see, he is in the kitchen preparing food for you." And that time he realizes that how his guru is so caring and loving. So, this is the relationship that we all should have with our guru. Wonderful it is, to understand that relationship. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. So I rest my voice here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you. Okay.
Any masters have any questions you can ask?
Yeah, if you have had this kind of experience, where,
You can.
yeah, please share, or you have any questions too.